How many games will the LA Rams win in 2023? What's going on, Rams fans? It's your boy, Mayon Jones here, back here with another NFL record prediction. And this time we'll be doing our NFL prediction for the LA Rams for 2023 NFL season. Give me my thoughts to see which games I think the Rams will win and which game I think the Rams will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the LA Rams in 2023, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options. And don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see how good you think the Rams are going to be. Do you think they're going to bounce back this year and make the playoffs? Do you think they're going to win the division? Or you think they're going to miss out on the playoffs once again? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Now, the Rams are one of these tricky teams to predict because I kind of have a feeling that, the Rams have been in a situation where they could be in a rebuild mode because, they still got Sean McVay, Stafford, Kupp, and Donald. That core is still there, but I feel like this team is kind of like the least talented team in the NFC because, if some of the players they lost and some of the first round draft picks they gave away, it's been really rough for them by this point. And also, I have questions about Matthew Stafford's health, and I'm very scared about it. Like I didn't like how the way he played last year, and I didn't like how the way he looked last year. I think he should have retired. That's what I was thinking. But anyways, we're going to get started here and get through the schedule. Now, I believe the first out of the first 5 games, they got to play some playoff teams. So I got them at least losing all these teams. I got them losing, which is the 49ers, Seahawks, and Bengals and Eagles. I got them losing to all 4 of these teams because, both these two teams are kind of tough because, they're all better team than the Rams. They're more talented and all that. And they all got a better defense. I can definitely see the Rams, beating the Seahawks, in a shootout type fashion, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I only got them beating, Seattle the reason why I only got Seattle win this game because they're the overall better team and they're at home and all that. But I just feel like that the Seahawks, they're just gonna at least run past you and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much why. And now the reason why I got them losing to the 49ers because, Kyle Shanahan, owns McVay, San Francisco, just continues to beat the Rams. I just can't really see the Rams beating the Niners. I just don't think you guys match up well with the Niners really good because the Niners have a fast defense and their front four is elite. So yeah, and also they're offensively, they're elite and could have one of the best offenses. And I don't think your defense is going to be able to handle. So that's pretty much why. And then obviously week 3, Monday Night Football, I got you losing to the Bengals because the Bengals are probably going to be one of the best teams in the league. They're at home, better quarterback. They're just an overall better team. That's pretty much why. So obviously they're 0-4 right now because I just skipped the game. And then week 4 they got to play against the Colts. Obviously I think they get their first win of the season because literally though, I just feel like, you can really beat their defense because I think the Colts, their defense is pretty good and their secondary is pretty good. I think the Rams offensively, I think you can move the ball against them and I think you can beat their defense. And I feel like, because I understand that the Colts defense is kind of a handful, which they can definitely give your offense issues. But I just kind of really feel like that, that Kupp I feel like Kupp's going to have a good game. Matthew Stafford will. I don't think Indy's going to have an answer for it. And I think that your run defense should be able to handle it against the Colts, rushing attack because their Colts O-line is kind of sketchy. So I think the Rams can win this game, but it will be close though. Then obviously week 5, I actually got you losing to the Eagles because the Eagles are just an overall better team. yeah. And I just kind of feel like Philly has a better quarterback that's more healthier. So yeah, like, and also their defensive line is very vicious and is really good. And I just don't think your offensive line is gonna be able to handle that. So yeah, especially their secondary is really good. I just don't think you're gonna be able to at least like slow down the corners. So yeah, and also their offense is gonna explode. Like they're not gonna have answers for AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. Those guys are gonna like run past your defense. So that's pretty much why. But week 6 they play against the Cardinals. Obviously, I think they get their first home win this season and beat the Cardinals because I just think the Rams are overall more talented team. They're at home, better coaching as well. So yeah, that's why I think the Rams win. Next game week 7 they play against the Steelers. This game can go either way. This is a game where I think LA can win, but I'm going to take the Steelers here because I just think the Steelers are an overall better team. And on top of that, I mean, their pass rush is really good, and I just don't think your offensive line is going to be able to handle blocking T.J. Watt, Cam Haper, and those guys. So yeah, I think like Kenny Pickett's going to make some magic here in LA. He's going to make some plays, big plays, especially against your secondary. So yeah, that's pretty much why I think Pittsburgh wins. And then next game they play against the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, same thing like I say for Steelers, Eagles, and Niners and Bengals, and Seahawks. I got them losing to Dallas because Dallas, is an overall better team. And on top of that, their defense is probably going to be one of the best in the league. Their secondary is improved, which I don't really think you guys are going to be able to beat their defense. Because I remember last year the game was in LA and Dallas beat you because of their defense. They was able to at least shut you down. They was able to at least like get after you and shut you down. So yeah, I just kind of really feel like that. The defense is probably gonna give the Rams offense issues, and Dallas. Dak Prescott should be able to make some plays against your secondary, especially the weapons he has of Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. Those guys will be tough to cover, and I think that Tony Pollard or Ezekiel Elliott, they're just gonna run over your defense. So yeah, that's why I think Dallas wins. The next game they play against Packers. This is a game that can go a little bit either way. Now, this is a game where I think you could win because you got the better quarterback, but I'm going to take the Packers here because I just think the Packers are just an overall better team. They're at home. And on top of that, I just kind of feel like LaFleur kind of owns McVay. I mean, Green Bay just pretty much own the Rams. I mean, I don't know. Now, I just don't really think, and also the Packers defense. I don't think Green Bay is going to be good this year, but they still got some talent. Their offense is kind of talented. I mean, defense is really good. I mean, their pass rush is very solid, and I just don't think, and that's a handful. And I just don't think I don't really trust your offensive line against the Packers pass rush, like because Green Bay just continues to play the Rams stuff like last year. Like a few years ago and the year before, like Green Bay's defense played them tough, and the secondary is really, really elite, which I think they'll slow down Kupp, and then I feel like the weapons that the Packers have on offense, they're just gonna like run over your defense. So yeah, that's pretty much why Green Bay wins. Then they get the bye week. Then after the bye week, they play against the Seahawks. Obviously, I think they split with the Seahawks. So I'm going to say they win that game here because, the Rams are at home and, the Rams sometimes play the Seahawks tough in one of these matchups. So I think the Rams will probably win one game to Seattle. Then week 12, they play against the Cardinals. Obviously, I think they split with the Cardinals, so I'm going to give them a loss there because I feel like Arizona's going to have to win something because they're not going to at least like lose every week because that would be crazy. And then week 13, they got to play against the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, this is a game where I think the Rams can definitely win, but I'm gonna go with the Browns here because I just think the Browns are an overall better team. And I feel like Deshaun Watson can do enough, to throw the ball through the air against your secondary. And I just don't think your defense going to be able to, secondary is going to be able to match it well with Amari Cooper and David Njoku and Elijah Moore. Because those guys are probably going to be a little bit tough to cover. And then, they have a strong running game led by Nick Chubb. I feel like that the Browns, they're just going to run all over your defense. And then, on top of that, I feel like Browns pass rush is pretty improved. I don't think your offensive line is going to be able to handle that. I think their defense, Browns defense, can dictate the pace right there. And then their secondary is pretty strong, which I think Ward is going to be able to slow down Kupp. So yeah, even though I think the Rams have better coaching and Kevin Stefanski on the hot seat, I still think the Browns are going to win that game. All right, the next game they have to play against the Ravens. Obviously, I got the Ravens because Baltimore. They kind of really want that. They kind of want revenge from you guys from 2 years ago, where they blew that game to you guys, and then you guys won. You guys close out the game, winning the game by 1. But I don't think in this game, I just kind of feel like the Ravens are going to win this game because they're at home. They're a more complete team. They have a better quarterback. And I just don't think their defense is going to give up big plays in this game. I think their defense is going to find a way to at least slow down Cooper Kupp, slow down the run game. And I mean, I just don't think your offensive line is going to be able to handle against the Ravens defensive line because I feel like the Ravens defensive line is pretty strong. So yeah. All right, then next game they got to play against the Washington Commanders. This is another game that can go either way, but this is a game where I think you could win because you got the better quarterback and better coaching staff, and you're at home. But I'm going to take Washington to win this game because I just kind of really feel like Washington has a better defensive front, and I just don't trust your offensive line to handle that. So, yeah. And plus, I don't really trust your secondary to handle Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dawson. I feel like those guys are probably going to be a little bit tough to cover. So yeah, and Sam Howell, he can be able to make big plays against your defense. So yeah. So that's pretty much why I think Washington wins this game. Then week 16, they gotta play against the Saints. Now this is a Thursday night game on a short week. I actually think you guys upset the Saints because literally though, the Rams, they don't really lose games like this because it's one of these games where the Rams, they every time they don't really expect to lose games like this. Sometimes I predict them to lose and they don't expect it. It's just Sean McVay. He just literally just comes through it though. It's like last year against the Raiders. No, he comes through it though. So yeah, even though I think the Saints are a better team, I just kind of feel like the Rams are gonna pull off a sneaky upset due to the fact the home field advantage. And the Saints, they don't do well in LA. So, yeah, it's a tough trial for them, so that's why I think they'll win. And then next 2 games, they play against the Giants and Niners. I think they drop both games right here. So I got them losing to the Giants because, Giants is an overall better team. And I feel like Martindale's ability to blitz, I feel like he's going to find a way to defend the Rams offense in this game. And also, I think their pass rush is going to find a way to slow down the Rams' offense. And then I think their secondary is pretty much dominant, which I think they'll slow down Kupp. And I don't think your defense is going to have an answer for Saquon Barkley. I feel like Barkley's going to run all over your defense. And I feel like Darren Waller is going to run all over your defense well, which I don't think you're going to have an answer for. So I feel like Daniel Jones should make some magic here in this game. So that's why I think the Giants win. And ultimately, I got them losing to the Niners again because, San Francisco, like I said, they just continue to beat the Rams and they own the Rams. Because they got more to play for this game because they have a chance to make the playoffs, like I said, because they're looking to at least win the division. And the Rams, are not because they don't have much to play for because they're not going to make the playoffs, and then Niners, fighting for that or 2 seed. So yeah, ultimately there's a better team. They're at home, and I just think they have the better coaching staff. So yeah, that's pretty much why. So ultimately, I have the Rams going 4-13. Now I know it's kind of disappointing for a lot of Rams fans, but this is what I have for the Rams. Like 4-13, 2-4 in division, 3-9 in the conference, 3-5 at home, 1-8 away. I mean, yeah, this is kind of tough though. Because when you look at the teams that the Rams got to play in their schedule, it's pretty tough because they got to play the Seahawks twice. They played in because they got to play some of the best teams in the NFL, and they got to play some teams that are playoff teams. They have to play the Seahawks twice. They play the Niners twice, the Bengals, the Eagles. They got to play the Steelers, who didn't make the playoffs. They got to play the Cowboys. Who made the playoffs. They play the Packers, who are really competitive and also didn't make the playoffs. They play the Browns, which I think they could definitely make the playoffs this year. They play the Ravens, who could definitely make who were in the playoffs last year. They play the Giants, who were in the playoffs last year, and then plus they play the Saints, which I think they're going to make the playoffs. So yeah, looking at the schedule, it's pretty tough, and I feel like it's probably going to be a tough year for the Rams. I just feel like the Rams are kind of in a rebuilding mode because they lost players like Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. I mean, Leonard Floyd, Bobby Wagner. I just feel like this defense is gonna it's probably gonna be even worse than last year, and I don't think it's gonna be good than last year or years like a few years ago. And I feel like their offensive line needs a ton of work, and they need to revamp that because it's very weak, and it's unknown players on there. They still need to work on their wide receiving core outside of Cooper Kupp. Tyler Higbee, I don't think he's the answer. Maybe they need to revamp the tight end position. Running back is okay. Matthew Stafford, I don't know, it's okay. We don't know if he's going to play this year. I mean, if he can stay healthy for all 17 games, I think there's a chance that the Rams can definitely, win more than 4 or 5 games, even 6 or 7. They will be more competitive though. But I feel like without Matthew Stafford, they're probably not competitive. So yeah, that's how I kind of really see with the Rams here. Because I just kind of feel like the Rams, they need everything on offense. They need to add another receiver. They might need to add another tight end. They need an offensive line, and they may need a quarterback if Matthew Stafford retires. And then defensively, they may need some more pass rushers, interior defensive line. They need a defensive lineman. They need linebackers. They need corners, safety. They need all of that, to be a good team. Because I'm saying, because if the Rams want to be competitive, they're gonna have to win at least, some of their games they're on their schedule. But I want to move them up to at least 5 to 6 wins. But I just kind of feel like I just don't see it happening with this schedule. So yeah, that's how I see it. And also, I don't think this team's probably going to take 3 or 4 seasons to rebuild. I mean, I feel like the Rams, the issue is probably their cap space. And they're going to figure out how they're going to maneuver their cap going forward with some of their current contracts and all that. So yeah. But I just hope the Rams prove me wrong. So yeah. But that's how I kind of really feel about the Rams. 4-13 is probably my record for them. So yeah. Let me know in the comments section below if you agree or disagree. Well, it's Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later in the next video. Peace.